Farrah.
Second down, 13. 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Wayne starts for 45 yards. Sparks out for signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Marks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy. Inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down to the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark.
Oh, but not for long. Dylan Denmark got one more day after today.
No.
And he's out of here. Out of here, D-Rock.
That was a farewell donut then.
Yeah, it
was.
He did.
It was
D-Rock
pretty
was
good, too.
nice. He got so used to buying breakfast for us. He offered to buy it again today, but I did not take you up on it. What, Dylan, get a glazed donut?
Yep. Just one.
All right. Tony had already bought his breakfast.
I had.
So.
Yep. Stopping to get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so I thought I'd be nice and offer everybody sponsorship opportunity. So I figured I'd ask.
All right.
That's the kind of guy I am.
I see how you're playing the game, the sponsorship game, at least. So good for you. Very nice. All right. Well, welcome in, D-Rock. How are things over there at One Jaguars Central?
Okay, I guess. Was interesting press conference yesterday. Didn't really get a lot of stuff answered, but got some things sort of answered. But I think the suddenness with which this season ended has really kind of smacked everybody in the chest a little bit. I guess we just expected this team to continue to win and win because they had won 8 in a row.
Particularly at home.
And particularly at home, right. And, yeah, it was like Liam Cohen, I think if anyone watched the post-game press conference, which we're not going to talk about any of that ancillary stuff in the post-game press conference, are we?
You brought it up.
Okay, well, I'm just checking. If you watched him, clearly he was upset, angry, devastated, annoyed, all of that. I mean, he's a competitive guy, and obviously, he's a former quarterback, so you add that in there too, hates losing, all that other stuff. I don't think he had softened on that stance by Wednesday.
They thought they should have won.
The better team got beat by the better player is essentially what it was.
And that's how they feel. I mean, if I'm Buffalo, I'm like, screw it. We beat you. We're the better team.
Yeah. Well, if you win that, you don't care how you won it. You won it.
Sure.
Right. So, yeah, they feel like they should be playing. I'm sure it stings a little bit more, too, that the Texans are still alive and they're not.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, so, I mean, look, I do think in that setting, you said they answered some things and others they didn't. I don't expect them to be able to go through all the permutations of what could happen with Devin Lloyd, for instance.
Right.
That's negotiating leverage and plans and things like that, and you're not going to lay out your whole offseason roadmap in a postseason press conference like that. So
no.
I don't blame them for being just a little bit vague on a few different players.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know where the Devin Lloyd situation's heading, but yeah.
Well, where do you think it's heading?
I think he's going to sign somewhere else because he'll get way more money on the open market than he will here. Than they're willing to pay, I think. Let's put it that way.
Should they be willing to pay more, in your opinion? Should they be willing to do whatever it takes to bring Devin Lloyd back?
No, whatever it takes, no.
Well, or whatever it will take to if somebody's going to decide that Devin Lloyd's worth X amount of money. Whatever that top of the market offer is, you don't think think it'll be more than they think he's worth?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were looking at it the other day. He's an inside linebacker, so he's not an edge guy. So he's not going to get edge guy money, but he could be up there, around 18, 19 maybe, because I think Fred Warner's making 21. And, in free agency, you always overpay. Everybody overpays. So if a reasonable number would be 15, then, you're probably going to be up there around 18, 19 to get him. And he'll be one of the most sought-after free agents on the market, defensively, anyway. So I don't think the Jags will look at it as a good investment of 18, 19, $20 million per year on an inside linebacker.
But isn't there a difference? If you think 15 is a reasonable number, how unreasonable is 18 million? We talking about $3 million.
Yeah, well, if
space.
you're willing to pay $22,000 for a car, how unreasonable is it to pay 24?
Well, if you have a billionaire owner, I'll buy that car and not even think about the sticker price.
Right.
Quite frankly,
but you have to think about the sticker price because you've got salary cap deal.
I get it, but has any any team ever been over the salary cap at the beginning of a season?
Well, no.
No,
of course
because it's not real. It's not real.
It is real
it's
to a
real
degree.
To a tiny degree.
Right.
It's
you can
very
manipulate
degree.
it. Yes.
You can shuffle money around. Teams do it every single year. I guarantee
you can push
Tony,
it till next year.
Right.
It'll be a problem, but this year it's not anymore.
Somebody is probably right now
over and over
projected
and over.
$50 million over the cap this year. That team will sign players and be under the cap by the start of the season. I don't know who that team would be. I mean, I know in recent years the New Orleans. Again, I'm not saying they have to break the bank for Devin Lloyd. I'm playing devil's advocate more than anything. I'm just saying
I don't think they will.
You park $10 million on the bench in De'Ami Brown this year.
Which actually, honestly, I think is a positive sign.
Sure, they weren't slaves to the contracts they gave out.
Weren't willing to admit, like I wrote in my Big Liam Cohen story, willing to admit a mistake and move on from it and solve it. I think that was a good thing. I think the cap is supposed to be the projection is going to be like 305-ish. Mm-hmm. So they will have plenty of space. They don't have a first-round draft pick that they got to pay. But, we can't just look at the Devin Lloyd move in a vacuum because maybe they're planning something else. Maybe they've got in their mind, you know what, we need an edge rusher bad. And maybe they've got an idea. Maybe we can put together a package and go get one of those edge rushers that's already been paid, like Max Crosby, for example, and they got to fit that number under the cap.
You giving the Ryan O'Halloran package for that?
No,
I'm not. And Trayvon Walker?
No.
I'm
No. I'm not.
That.
No. But, I don't know. I don't honestly know what it would take. I think I think it would take at least one first-round pick, but I don't want to get rid of Trayvon Walker if I'm the Jags. I
Didn't
really
sound
don't.
like they wanted to yesterday with some of the comments that they made about Trayvon. Gladstone talked about how Trayvon loves the place, loves his teammates, and he's the kind of guy you want in the building going forward.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you won't move off a guy for an upgrade. I understand that. But that sounded to me like they're looking to figure out a way to go beyond the fifth-year option with Trayvon Walker.
No rush to, but yes, I would.
Right. I'm not saying there's a rush, but then again, I don't want to pay Trayvon, right? I don't think he's a $30 million a year player based on the market.
Well, and, if you look or you remember, he talked about, I think Gladstone was the one who said it. He talked about this defensive scheme is going to evolve, and the personnel will depend on what that evolution looks like. So could part of that evolution being, you know what? Let's go get an edge rusher and let's have Trayvon play a little bit more inside where he was really dominant in college and where we think he can be a big-time interior disruptor because they didn't get a lot of interior pass rush this season. Eric Armstead gave him a little bit, but that was it.
A little bit early.
Yeah, more so early.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt with the hand thing, which again, for a guy that you want to rush the passer is more of a detriment than a lot of people will think.
By the way, you're hearing 305 for the salary?
Somewhere in there. That's what I've seen online is that some of the estimates are over 3.
At overthecap.com, they're doing it based off 295. Okay,
right.
So let's
somewhere in there.
All right,
around
so
300.
Let's call it 300, right? Right now at 295, the Chiefs are projected $60 million over the cap right now. Right? So if it goes up to 305, there's $50 million over the cap.
They'll get under.
By the way, the Jags right now are projected $17 million over the cap. So, you worried about it?
No.
Right.
I mean,
exactly. Because there's always a way around
Right,
it.
there is a way around it, but you can't get into the push too much into the future deal.
I understand you can't do it infinitely, but yet again, even teams that have done that somehow find a way to get their cap square every single year.
Right.
And what the Jaguars got done this season? Yeah, they lost to Buffalo last weekend. What does what they did throughout this season tell you about where is the window as far as the championship window for this team? Is that now? Right? Like, how do you deal with that kind of? It's like,
I think that's O'Halloran's contention.
Right.
Like, your window's open, push the chips to the middle of the table. Go
Right.
get Max Crosby and win it now. Look, if they were to win one, then any
Nobody
kind
cares
of cap problems they have
nobody
after that
cares.
are just,
Right.
you better not care, at least for a little while, right? I mean, you got to give them,
Right.
a first-time championship would earn them a tremendous amount of grace, but we're not there. So.
If you believe that Liam Cohen has Trevor at the level that we saw or at least 85 to 90% all season at the level that we saw in the last half of last season, then your window's open. It's not a narrow opening. It's open much, much wider. So if you believe that, and that's what he's going to be from now on, then, it's not necessarily right now, right away, but I mean, it's not. You better start thinking in like a 3 to 5 year span, right?
Well, you would think, but anyway, that's a little far off into the future. We're going to talk about what they need to do this offseason. We'll get your reaction to what you heard yesterday, Mike, from both Liam Cohen and James Gladstone. We welcome your calls today on any manner of Jaguar topics. It's 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. Also the same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day asks you, who are the top 3 MVP candidates on the Jacksonville Jaguars this year? Who are the most valuable players? And I made it 3 because I think a lot of people, we just did a poll. We're not going to put everybody who wants to be voted on or the people that everyone wants to vote on in there. So just simplified it this way. Give us the top 3 players on this football team that were the most valuable to the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars. That's our question of the day today. You can stream us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X, and you can find us on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at ESPN Duraco, and at 1010XL Denmark.
I need some Girl Scout cookies.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
What are balloons scared of?
Clowns.
Pop music.
Talk about music.
There's no mute button that works that way.
No,
right?
there's no
Negative
reverse. We don't have a reverse mute in this.
I
thing.
run the show, homeboy.
I saw a good one. I've seen this one going around for a while. I saw this morning, but I've seen it in the last week, and probably everyone's heard it, or maybe not. So what is it? A priest, a monk, and a rabbit.
A rabbit, not a rabbi.
Will you let me tell the damn joke?
I'm trying to make sure I
a
understand
priest,
where
a
we're
monk,
going.
and a rabbit.
A rabbit.
Walk into a blood drive. The nurse says, "What's your blood type?" The rabbit says, "I think I'm a typo." Thank you very much.
I didn't like that joke at all.
Because you blew it.
Yeah, because I've heard that
blew the
joke
delivery.
before.
You
I've
blew-
heard
If
that
you heard it, then why did you ask a rabbit?
because I wanted to ruin the joke. I didn't like
Apparently.
it.
Thank you.
I didn't like it.
Unbelievable.
Didn't like it before.
Mike Duraco. There's
Didn't
gonna
like
be
it
a
again.
fist fight on the set today of Jaguars.
A little bit of fire in here today.
Hey, D-Rock.
Yo,
How do billboards talk?
Oh, here we go.
sign language.
Finally, I said,
Hey, well done,
Congratulations.
Dad. Mike Duraco has earned his dad card. All right. No more dad jokes, maybe. I don't know. Didn't know we were going to have any today, so they could pop up. But maybe hit us with your best one today when you call in, or not, for that matter. Let's talk Jaguar ball in all its many forms for the next 2 hours. Mike Duraco is here with us, and you're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for big #1 Duval Ford. 1616 Cassett Avenue is where you need to go if you want an unbeatable selection of F-150s, Super Duties, and Broncos. Jacksonville's #1 Ford dealer with transparent pricing, fast trade appraisals, and a no-pressure buying experience. And now, how about Ford Mobile Service? They come to you at home or at work, available for oil changes, filters, battery replacements, you name it. Big #1 Duval Ford, 1616 Cassett Avenue, and online at duvalford.com.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Every Sunday drive deserves a Monday morning quarterback.
Did anyone look at the scoreboard?
We'll take apart the top games, key plays, and controversial calls from the weekend.
Post-game Monday.
Delivered by Dandy Foods on 1010XL.
Ready to race Jacksonville? Indoor racing anytime at K1 Speed. Fast electric karts, real competition, and family fun. Buy 2 races, get 1 free every Tuesday. Cruise over to K1 Speed Jacksonville today. Your top destination for indoor racing.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
To catch more fish, you've got to think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Money pages in your mailbox right now.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Money pages in your mailbox right now.
This is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Tired of your hair falling out? Our hair restoration solutions have helped over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2026 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to stop and just say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming in and giving us the chance to help. You see, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry, but at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods. Their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores, and we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
D-Rock texted me yesterday. Am I in tomorrow? Am I still there? There's poor communication, right?
No, I just wanted to make
I'm
sure.
saying between me and I'm putting this on me.
Oh, okay.
I don't necessarily. I just assume that if I know it, somehow by osmosis you will know it. But I thought we had been clear that we were coming back at least for a wrap-up. But we're going to have you through the end of the month, so we're happy for that.
Okay.
Especially if you keep buying breakfast for the next couple weeks.
Wait a minute,
RJ,
wait a minute.
RJ's first Thursday with you next week. That's a big day.
It is.
Just saying.
I hope he likes protein bars.
Whatever
Cereal.
I've got in the drawer at the
Pop-Tarts,
house.
yes. A Pop-Tart that may have been in a box longer
All right.
than it should have been.
Best Pop-Tart. What do you got?
Oh, I mean, either the s'mores or the brown sugar cinnamon.
A lot of people
brown sugar
like that.
cinnamon.
Yeah, a lot of people like that end of the spectrum of Pop-Tarts. What about you, Tony? Best Pop-Tart?
Just that strawberry.
Frosted strawberry, right? Nobody's eating an unfrosted strawberry,
Yeah.
or I hope, right?
Do they even make unfrosted?
They do make
Pop-Tarts?
unfrosted Pop-Tarts. Yes. I don't know why anyone would buy them. Strawberry, blueberry. Denmark, you got a favorite Pop-Tart?
Brown sugar.
There you go. Likes that brown sugar and the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
That's what he's
The
saying.
Gotta have the
s'mores
cookies,
one
baby.
in the microwave for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That's the one?
That's the one.
All right. Fair enough. Let's see. Cody, going to lead us off today at 641-1010. On the Key Buick GMC phone lines, you got a question or a comment about Jaguars football. We got a lot to dig into with D-Rock today. Cody, good morning. Duval. What's up?
Oh, nothing much, guys. Loved how this team performed this year. Unfortunately, we lost, and that's just what happens sometimes. But there's definitely a few guys on this team who I'm not sure will be back next season or we can move off from. I know it'd be kind of hard to move off of Walker Little with his contract, but like Shumi Udoga, he'd be one as well, and also Mason Smith. I don't know where you guys think these guys could possibly end up, staying with the team or getting rid of them. But go Jags, guys.
All right, appreciate it, man. Look, they need more bodies at defensive tackle. Mason Smith's not making a crazily prohibitive salary on a rookie deal, but he was a massive disappointment, Mike. I thought, he had a chance to be a breakout player this year, particularly the way they talked about him last year. What about Walker Little and the contract status? I know yesterday they basically said, look, we like the fact that we have our entire offensive line under contract. If, that doesn't mean they won't look to upgrade it, but what do you think? How do you think they feel about Walker Little and the contributions he made to this football team?
I think they thought he played pretty solidly in the first half of that season at left tackle, and then Cole Van Lanen came on and took his job, and then they liked the way he performed at right guard. So it wouldn't surprise me if Walker Little is still here next year and he's battling with Makari to be the right guard, the starting right guard. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they put him on the open market, or, the problem is, I'm looking at his numbers here. I mean, it's a $7 million dead cap hit if you trade him before June 1st.
If you trade him after, it's only $2.5 million.
Correct.
Yeah, and you got to push $12 million into the following year.
Right.
But that's the game. You always push it down the road to a certain point.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's here next year at all, because he can play either either tackle spot. And now you've seen that he can play right guard. Okay. So they love those guys that play multiple spots, that are versatile enough that they could move even in game, which, we've seen them have to do at times. So I wouldn't be surprised if Walker Little's here.
I would think the only way he's not here is via trade. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
They're not cutting him.
He's a competent NFL lineman, right? Whether he's a great starting lineman, he is a guy who can, like you said, play a lot of different positions. Is he the best? No, but
if
go
he's
look
one
around.
of your 8, he's going to play at some point.
Right. Is he one of your 8 top guys? And I think he clearly was for the Jags this year. And, why would you take a big cap hit to release him and not have him? If you're going to take that cap hit, you might as well pay him that money and have him available to you. But where does Wyatt Milam fit in, Mike, in the 2026
Yeah,
plans?
that's the interesting part, because he didn't play much this year. That was their thought on him, was that he could be the right tackle eventually, because I think
right tackle.
They thought he could play right tackle for sure, because remember the original thought, or at least they were leaning in camp, Anton could go left, and then they drafted Wyatt to play right tackle eventually. But then, Anton got hurt, so that kind of nixed the move to left tackle. Look, he's on a cost control rookie deal. You bring him back, you let him compete. I think there's probably only 2 spots on that offensive. Well, yeah, probably 2 that you would confidently say right now that who the starter is going to be. Hainsey's probably going to be the starter, and Anton's going to be a starter somewhere.
Van Lannen's
and you would
they just paid him.
They did just pay Van Lannen.
Van Lannen at the top of that list.
Well, here's the thing: we've seen that this franchise will move a guy if he gets beat out. I would expect him to start, but you know what I mean? I would expect him to be the starter at left tackle, and but I'm not guaranteeing.
I just don't know why it would be any more likely that a guy that they thought was worthy of a contract extension would get beat out than some other offensive lineman on the team.
Well, they thought De'Ami Brown was going to be a
No, I understand
starter.
that, but they had Van Lannen. They signed De'Ami Brown based on film somewhere else, and it was a projection. He actually played for them and showed his value.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I don't know. Well, I'm really, I guess, enamored is the right term with this franchise, this brain trust flexibility and willingness to move on from something that they may not have foreseen being a problem. And they do, you know what? Probably. They do envision him as the starting left tackle. But we've also seen that he gets banged up a little bit. Some of those other guys get banged up. So it's going to be a deal where those guys are playing all over the place. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Anton were to get hurt, then maybe Walker Little's out there at the right tackle spot. Or Udoga is out there at the right tackle spot. Or Udoga's playing inside, or Makari's playing right tackle. Or Milam's playing right tackle. Or Milam's playing left guard if Ezra gets hurt. They're just going to mix and match those things.
Point being, though, they
don't need to draft an offensive lineman.
No, they might.
They might.
They could still address the group, but
right,
they don't have
but
to.
they don't have to.
Well, how do you think they feel about Udoga? Because he's not that cost prohibitive. His cap number next year is less than $3.9 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think he comes back, and there's competition for all of those.
Yeah,
spots.
and he was able to play in a multitude of spots, and play. He's not a great player, but you're not going to find great eighth offensive linemen.
We've talked.
Around the
you
league.
Don't need to be an elite offensive line in order to win. You just got to be above average, and that's what they were last year.
All right. Anyway, Cody, thank you for the call. Let's get Tyler in Fleming Island next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Tyler.
Hey, man. How y'all doing?
Doing well. What's up, buddy?
Good. Just some observations, man. Some comments. First of all, super grateful for Liam and what he's done for the franchise. The big turnaround. I don't want to sound negative. It's just, I really feel it's been said already, but the abandonment of the run, that when your backs are averaging 8.5, 9 yards a carry, and you can't beat Superman on the field, you keep him off the field. And it's like he acknowledged that at the halftime interview and just went the other way. It's frustrating. I mean, when you say no to 3 points and then you lose by 3 points, I think it's fair to bring that up and for him to double down, for him to double down on just, I'm going to keep doing that, the analytics and yada, yada. Well, the analytics failed, and I don't know that there's a worse time for them to fail. It kind of just seems that we beat ourselves, man. It kind of seems like just coaching cost us that game. I don't agree with abandoning the run. So I was there. I was in section 132 amongst the Bills fans. I was right in the heart of Bills territory. And it was just so hard to see them. I don't feel like the better team won, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think they agree with you, Tyler. Let me jump in because we're short on time. I think you got your points across. Let's hold that and talk about the running game and Liam Cohen's aggressiveness when we come back and get your perspective on that, D-Rock. We've already talked about it a little bit, but it's certainly, look, I get it, and I get your point of view of, look, I support what's going on. I'm very happy about the season, but that doesn't mean you're not frustrated, and it doesn't mean we can't kind of nitpick the way the season ended. That's all part of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because you're critical of the micro doesn't mean that you're not appreciative of the 13-win season and the hope that it gives you moving on into the future. Tyler, appreciate the call. We'll come back at D-Rock's thoughts on what you had to say right there, and we'll get more in on the lines at 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
Discover the fun and freedom of boating. Don't miss the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. That's boatjacks.com.
Hey, Hicken here. Leave all the 2025 dirt and celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpets, tile, hardwood, LVP, area rugs, upholstery. Basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and don't forget about your air ducts. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with more than 8,000 reviews. Bring in the new year with 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. 287-5727 or book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Hicken here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. JJ here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Covering the First Coast and ready to help when you need it. That's Rebound Rehabilitation. With a dozen locations, they're easy to get to and they'll get you back in the game. Sports injury, workers' comp case, or auto accidents, you name it, they can help. Check out reboundrehab.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the adorable chess man on the tracks.
There are 2 things you should ask yourself about your garage floor. How clean is it now, and how clean would you like it to be? A typical bare concrete floor doesn't just collect dirt, it makes dirt.
It is literally made of dirt.
As much as you sweep and mop, the dust and grit just never ends.
And drips from your car seep into the pores, staining the concrete forever.
A Checkmate multi-layer floor resists drips and stains. It comes in your choice of dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear shoes in the garage and track dirt back in the house.
Gorgeous?
Check. Durable?
Check. Tidy enough to walk on wearing clean white socks? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you
Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
Hey, we'll get to Travis Hunter coming up here, but if I were to do a poll and I asked who will have the most receiving yards on the Jaguars in 2026, which 4 names should I put in the poll?
Well, you would put Parker.
Yeah.
You would put Jacoby.
Yeah.
You would put Brenton Strange.
Okay.
And you would put...
Not going to put Brian Thomas?
No, that's who the 4th guy. You would put Brian
You
Thomas.
wouldn't put Travis Hunter in.
I don't know what to expect.
Well,
out
that's
of
what
him.
I'm asking.
That's
the question. Where does he fit in?
I don't know. Is it full-time one side, full-time offense, full-time defense, here and there on offense? I don't know.
All right, let's table that for. It's just because we were talking about it on the break, like who is more likely to lead the Jags in receiving next year. Tony and I immediately said, well, if you're asking us today, we'd have to say Parker Washington based on the trend line, right? And the way the second half of the season went. Now, it doesn't always pick up right where it left off either, but that's, Brenton Strange is a big factor, but that's the enigma that is going to be Travis Hunter right now. So, all right, let's clear up the questions Tyler had from your perspective, because Tony and I have already talked about him a little bit earlier this week. I think we all felt coming out of that game should have run the ball more.
Yes.
Liam Cohen alluded to it after the game. Probably could have had a few more runs. How much should he have taken the option away? It seemed like Trevor Lawrence checked out of a number of plays. That's usually you're checking from a pass to a run or a run to a pass. That's usually the option that you have.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So when he checks to a play and he's throwing the ball, he's probably checking out of a running play. And it seemed like he did that a good number of times this week based on what they're showing you. Yet still the coverage was pretty sticky. You know what I mean? Like it's almost
Especially
like the Bills
middle of the field,
kind of tricked you into what they were showing you a little bit. But should Liam Cohen have taken the option out of Trevor's hands?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, he's operating the offense. Operate the offense and operate it based on what you've seen and what you're looking at. Liam's told us all year that he had very, 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 very few issues with the plays that Trevor's checked into. So, no, I don't think you take that out.
Okay, so then do you think they should have run the ball more?
I do. I think everybody does.
How do you
but you know what?
Square those?
Yeah. You don't know what I don't know what he's reading and seeing, and I don't know what the defense is giving him. I'm not a quarterback. Maybe there were some times where he goofed and shouldn't have checked out of the run.
I'm just saying, I don't have the answers to this, right?
Either.
Unless we're sitting in a film session with Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. Like, I don't know why he checked to this play, or maybe even there may be instances where this is the pass play called, and you can check to another pass play. It's not necessarily always I check from this play, from a pass play to a run to a pass. It could be a different pass play type of thing.
For the record, I would have run it more. Okay,
I would have too.
And I have this week tried to present both sides of the story because Tony, the best argument is against that is, well, okay, you felt like we ran less in the second half, but that's when our offense started to actually produce, right? Mm-hmm. We came out, we got a field goal, then we got touchdown, and we got touchdown, and then we got a tip ball interception on our last drive. We only had the ball 4 times in the second half. You scored on the first 3. Would running the ball have helped you put up more points against the Buffalo Bills? Right, that's the best argument.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know if it would have, but would it have shortened the game? Would it have given it a different feel, a more desperate feel to Buffalo, knowing that, hey, every time we give them the ball, they're just running it down our throats, and we can't keep them off the field or out of the end zone.
By the way, because I know we're going to get into the field goal decision here in a moment, too.
Yeah.
And I think these two things are more connected than we've connected them this week. I've said all week that I would have gone for it, too. And I feel like I've been screaming into the void as the one who's been willing to say I would have gone for it, too. And part of it is the pressure thing. Like, I brought this going into the game with the Bills. I don't think they feel the weight of the expectations that they're carrying into that game until you make them feel that weight. 10-3 does not make them feel that weight. 14-3 could, right? And from that perspective, even in the moment while they were getting ready to go, I was like, I'd go. Like, that was the thought that I had in my head. It was like, I would go.
Makes sense.
I would understand the field goal in the moment, too. Like, it is close to a 50-50 thing in my head. They lose the game by 3, and now everyone who said they should have kicked the field goal feels justified in saying that's why we lost. I don't think that's why they lost, right? I think a bunch of things happened after that that led to the reason they lost, but I think their best chance to control that game going forward was to convert that 4th down and get it into the end zone. They didn't get it done. They paid the price for not having got it done.
Yeah, and I'll say this. All of that aside, just like everything happens the same into the 4th quarter. They took the lead twice in the 4th quarter, and the defense gave it right back up.
They did.
They go up, 17-13. Then the Bills go down, and all of a sudden they're up 20-17. The Jags drive it down 24-20. Then the Bills take it and go right down. The 36-yard pass to Cooks and the Josh Allen group run or whatever the hell it was that they're calling that. And then boom, you've given it up. The defense gave it up twice. Now you flip that. Well, that's who Josh Allen is, man. That you kind of knew Josh Allen's Superman, man. We've talked about it all the time. That's what you have to do. So maybe you're right that if they had converted that and gone up 14-3, it plays out differently. Who knows?
We don't know.
Yeah, but also if Walker Little doesn't false start, cause a 10-second runoff, maybe it's only a 45-yard field goal attempt at the end of the first half instead of a 54-yarder, and maybe he makes it. Who knows? I mean, we're Monday morning quarterbacking on Thursday, really.
Yeah, that to me, like those 10 yards, the way Cam Little had been kicking, shouldn't have bothered Cam Little to me.
Probably
not.
not.
His range, the guy kicks him from 75 routinely in warm-ups.
But that may be a 54-yard field goal is still not a gimme. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen him kick it from 67, 68. I think we've been conditioned in our head to just expect this kid, well, hell, if he kicks it from 65, 66, 67 and makes it, then a 55-yarder is a chip shot. Well, it's really not.
Well,
it's not.
No, the bigger deal to me is you could already feel in that game that they needed those 3 points. Right?
Yes.
Like with where the game was at that moment, this is a guy where we feel like we have a decided advantage as our guy at kicker can give us an advantage. He had an opportunity to establish that in the game. He didn't get it done. Right? And I think it's okay to feel whatever level of disappointment you want to feel with him in that moment, given how much we expect out of Cam Little. I understand it's not a gimme to make it from 54. I think you're great. Be great, right? Like, those are moments where kickers have to be great if we expect them to be
and
great.
he had been great.
Right, he just wasn't in that moment.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm, a lot of things. I mean, it's not all Cam Little, it's not the defense. It's all these things.
It's all of it.
But, the one thing I'll say when you say the defense then blew the lead twice. Well, the Bills are saying the same thing. We're saying, Trevor Lawrence took the lead twice. The Bills are going, we gave up the lead twice.
Correct.
In the 4th quarter. It's all depends on your perspective.
Correct.
Right? They're saying, Josh Allen made the plays and took that lead from them. And that is probably
more accurate.
More accurate.
If Jacksonville had found a way to win, Buffalo would be feeling the same way you feel today.
Correct.
Right? Like,
how
it
did that
wouldn't have
team
gone
beat
away.
us? How did it, but here's how we beat. We shut down your run game. We ran it down your throat. There are a lot of indicators that you would point to that you would think, man, if you didn't know what happened, Jags won that football game. Obviously, they didn't. All right, almost halfway home. Let's talk Travis Hunter when we come back. A little bit more in-depth and what you think, based on what they said about him yesterday and just the state of this roster, where he is going to fit in and make an impact in 2026. Mike DeRocco's here with us. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. From the edge of your radio to the edge of your seat. Showtime! Feel the excitement of live play-by-play.
And this place is rocking right now.
On 1010XL.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
What's up, Duval? I'm Chad Volamic, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
Bueller,
stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, is that a turtleneck?
Can't you feel it, Jason? There's a chill in the air, a definite nip.
I mean, it is January.
In Jacksonville, Jason, I didn't come here for cold.
Well, I wouldn't call this.
Cold weather gives me the sniffles. Sniffles turns to pneumonia. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital bed with a tube down my throat because Florida didn't get the memo about ignoring winter.
So switch over to heat.
What if my system can't remember how to heat?
Dude, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can make sure your system is ready to switch from cooling to heat. We'll clean your heating coil to get rid of that burning dust smell and make sure you have the coolant pressure to keep your heat pump pumping out the heat.
Huh, I had no idea these sunglasses worked in the winter. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Start the fresh new you with Local Fair Jacks, the online farmers market, delivering fresh local food to your door. Start for just $7 with code FRESH1010 at localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, Mike DeRocco here with us. And for a couple more weeks after this, we'll take him through the month of January as he'll regale you with tales from the front lines of covering the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What?
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't
just
either.
nod and go along, okay? It was all positive stuff there.
Okay.
Yesterday, they were asked about Travis Hunter, James Gladstone, Liam Cohen. And Gladstone said, rehab's going as expected. Good to have his, personality in the building, as always, his good spirit, what have you. I'm just going through all the bullet points here. Expect him to play. He will play on both sides of the ball. But he also seemed to give a nod towards common sense. Well, if you look at the depth chart, right? I mean, where do you need him more right now? As you just talked about, if I did a poll of the top 4 pass catchers in terms of yardage next year, you don't think he would belong in that poll right now. And I'm not saying that's unreasonable.
No. I just because I don't have a feel.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
but
for where,
he's not
what
definitively in there because we don't know how he's going to be deployed. But you would think, Mike, that you've got the 3 guys at wide receiver. You've got Brenton Strange. You've got a lot of pieces in place on the offensive side.
They need him more, probably.
They need him more. The secondary. And every layman Jaguar fan out there has made this connection very clearly, right? Now, I'm not saying he should be strictly a cornerback because they're the ones who said they wanted to revolutionize the game of football with the way that he is employed, right? And granted, maybe it was more necessary to do that when you didn't have as many weapons available to you on the offensive side. So what is your best guess? I mean, if he is primarily a corner next year, and we can't speak for them, this is just our supposition, what impact does he have on offense? Is it 10 snaps a game and he's out there as more of a glorified decoy, or you have a package where you give him 2 or 3 touches a game, or is he integrated more significantly?
I think it will depend on the week and the matchups, which we talked about last year or earlier in this season. But I do think there's no reason for them to deploy him as a decoy because they keep talking about how dynamic he is with the ball. So if you're going to get him out there, it doesn't automatically mean he's going to touch it, but certainly there needs to be some plays that get him the ball in his hand. Now,
but you can't at the same time put him on the field for 5 plays and give him the ball every time.
Correct.
Because that's too much.
Correct. So putting him on the field for 5 to 7 plays a game doesn't really do anything for the plays both ways argument, right? I mean,
not that much.
No,
anyway.
But I mean, I don't expect them to re-sign Greg Newsome. Monteric Brown, probably not. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if everybody's healthy right now, going into next year, who are your starting corners?
Jordan Lewis be one of them.
Right.
Travis,
I
would think would be one of them.
If Jordan Lewis's foot is good. I mean, I assume it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long way down the road.
But, Jarian Jones played really well this past year.
At times.
And they have a lot of confidence in Christian Braswell, too.
Yeah.
But I also expect them to draft a corner at some point.
Well,
at least one or two.
Need more corners.
Absolutely. So if you, made me say where I think he'll play more, it's probably early in the season anyway. It'll probably be a corner. But I just don't have a feel, and guys, I don't think they know yet what they're going to do with him. They only had 7 games with him, and for the 7th game, they made him wide receiver 1. They were running the pass offense through him, and I asked Liam about that. I said, "Hey, when he comes back, do you view him as wide receiver 1?" And he was like, "Well, I don't generally do that." And, I don't
talking about yesterday.
Yeah. He's like, "I don't generally do that. It can kind of spread the ball around and anybody can do it."
He also was the guy that said we're going to run the offense through Brian Thomas. So,
right.
There's a little coach speak going on here.
Absolutely. And you can probably say that when you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You can go, there's nobody really a 1, like when you're in Tampa. No one really won because I got 2.
When everyone knows who your 1
right.
is.
Yes, and your 1 and 1A is. So they don't know. I honestly believe they don't know. I think they have an idea. I think their idea for Travis Hunter is exactly what it was last year. And
which is what? Define
is,
that.
Maybe not full-time, but significant reps on both sides of the ball in every game.
In every game. All right.
And they haven't seen anything that leads them to believe that that's not going to work.
Yeah,
the knee injury was a freak injury. It had nothing to do.
It's not a wear and tear issue.
No.
Right. It's not he played too many because, that's the low-hanging fruit. People want something that justifies the opinion they have. He's not going to be able to do it. See? And if he got hit by a car, he also wouldn't be playing. And yeah, I mean, anybody can have a non-contact knee injury.
Knee bends the wrong way.
The emphasis though on him in the offense was so striking as, you go through he had 8 targets in the first game against Carolina, but they're all really, really short. Let's just get the ball in his hands, see if he can run after the catch. Then he had 6. Then he only had 2 versus Houston the first game. Then he had 5 and then he had 3. Then he had 7 versus Seattle. He had 14 targets against the Rams. Now, they were throwing a lot. They were behind a bunch, but 8 for on those 14 targets, 8 catches for 101 yards, and his only receiving touchdown of the year.
60%, 67% of the offensive snaps, and 36% of the defensive snaps in the 7 games. But they needed him more in wide receiver, probably. Because
I think
they
so.
had Tyson at that point.
Right, and Jordan Lewis played well.
Jordan Lewis was playing outstanding. They brought him in, he played nickel.
So you bottom line, you just
or he played outside.
You think it'll be just week to week based on necessity and
I don't think that they ever wanted to sit there and say he's going to play X every week. I think they were going to do it. Where do we need him more this week? If we're playing the Bengals again, for example,
you need him at corner.
Right. We probably need to put him at corner, guys, a little bit more. And we're okay offensively.
Right, you play a run-heavy team, maybe it's not as much.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll see. That's going to be a big talking point, obviously, throughout the entirety of the offseason. All right, we'll take a break with Mike DeRocco halfway home. Get back to your calls on the Key Buick GMC phone lines when we return in hour number 2. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
It's the Happy Renewal Year sale at Renewal by Anderson. Buy one, get one, 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you cooked.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Searcy here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It may be winter in Northeast Florida, but it's one of the most important times to protect your lawn. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. Their winterizer strengthens roots and improves cold tolerance. Pre-emergent treatments stop spring weeds before they ever start. What that means is you set the stage for a thicker, greener lawn when spring arrives. Call today to schedule your winter lawn treatment with Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
I'm with Fresh Recycles at Jacksonville, and the fall part of the year just offers so much fun, especially when you're out and about. Tell everybody what's happening with Triumph right now.
They have got a lot of new models on the road, from Scrambler 400s. They've got the legendary Rocket motorcycle. Lots of really cool bikes to choose from.
And the price point and all the tricks that come with the Triumph bike, they're all there.
They're all there. Entry level to the greatest of the great. We've got them.
Look for them online, cyclesofjacksonville.com. Check out their Facebook page or that showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Join the movement at the Foundation 5000 Saturday, January 17th at UF Health in St. Augustine. The Community 5K supports the UF Health St. John's Foundation Care Connect mobile outreach and clinic, delivering vital medical care to those who need it most. Run or walk with 96 Olympian Keith Brantley, or come enjoy the Asian market, open to runners and non-runners alike. Sign up today at runsignup.com. Search Foundation 5000.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills, drops, and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Are you taking weight loss drugs or medication that's making your hair fall out? Whether you're frustrated with results from treatments that just don't work, or you no longer have the fuller, thicker hair that you once had, there's a better way. Our hair restoration solutions have helped literally over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Ready to grow your hair back and have permanent, natural, and guaranteed results? For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The NBA heads to Berlin, Germany today as the Orlando Magic are the home team against the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the first of 2 international games between these teams as they'll play in London on Sunday. Franz Wagner will be available to play today against the Grizzlies. Jalen Suggs will remain out for Orlando with a knee contusion. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Right now, 51 degrees at 11:02. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
Hey, because the text line is always a bastion of level-headedness, right? Everyone's going to welcome RJ with wonderful welcome texts next Monday, right? As our new producer. RJ's like got this image in his head that the Jaguars Today audience is going to rebel about him becoming our new producer. You know,
I'll text a bunch of stuff for him. If
will
he
you?
wants.
I
Yeah.
got my burner ready to go. You know,
you can download a Google phone app to have a new number, so it's not your actual phone number. That way, if you get caught,
there you go.
So that's what I would do.
So now I know where all these mean texts have been coming from.
Yes, you do.
By the way, to the guy
Dylan.
who said yesterday that 3 better, 3 best is a common phrase used at every level of coaching in every sport. Apparently, Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser also don't need a sports talk show because neither one of them had ever heard that expression prior to yesterday. So I'm not alone in that. Just saying. Just saying, D-Rock.
Just saying.
On the text line, I'm as disappointed as anyone with Brian Thomas Jr.'s performance, but we'd be foolish to think he won't find his footing and role to thrive in. Maybe. Not everyone does.
Hopefully.
I think there's a lot of talent there. I'm not saying he can.
When we were discussing who will lead the team in receiving next year, I answered Parker, and it would be the same way I've answered this question now for 6 weeks. I hope it's Brian.
Right.
Like, that's the way that I would want to answer the question is Brian Thomas Jr., but I don't feel confident saying that right now.
No, neither do I. But look, I think more than likely Brian Thomas is part of this football team next year and an important part of this football team next year. But at the same point, like somebody said, hey, would you trade him for a second-round pick and just put Travis Hunter in there as his replacement because you have that option to go? I mean, I'm not writing anything off. I think James Gladstone, there are very few untouchables on the roster. And if the right offer came along that – it's not like he's necessarily saying we got to move on from this guy or that guy, but hey, all right, we can use this to get this, and that'll be a net gain. I mean, that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah, these aren't their guys.
Correct.
Yeah,
they didn't draft him.
No, and more so, like it takes a while to rebuild the roster. They were probably way ahead. 13-4 puts them way ahead of schedule, I think, win-wise. So and ramps up the expectations for next year, which it is what it is. But I don't think in their wildest dreams, if you pin them down and got them to seriously admit that, I don't think in their wildest dreams they thought they would be 13-4 in year one. It was going to be a little 100%. Bit of a rough start, and let's see if they can get Trevor moving.
I think there was some of that
stuff.
along the way. They were telling you, look, we're enthusiastic. We're gonna not sell ourselves short, but let's also be realistic. I heard that a lot in the offseason, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, guys, I know we love this enthusiasm, but come on, let's not put ourselves to an impossible situation. Well, they raised the bar. Now, I mean, next year you could go 11-6 next year. That's a hell of a year.
People will be mad,
and there will be some, and that's okay. That's sports, man. You know what? You raise the bar of expectations, and it doesn't mean it's always the arrow always goes up, 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 up. You know,
Did they win a playoff game.
No.
11-6. No.
Oh, if they win a playoff game, sure. Now, but up to that point, Tone, 11-6, you go on the road in the postseason, you'll be like, it's not as good a year, and then you win that playoff game. All of a sudden, it's a much better year. No, I'm 100% with you. If they've got, and I honestly think there'd be less disappointment. Now, if they had done that this year, they had been a 10 or 11 win team and lost in Buffalo or lost to whomever on the road in the first week. It's like you said, it was the abruptness. I had one fan just put it in perfect form to me the other day. He goes, in all these past years, we're going to Kansas City hoping we can win. We're expecting to win this time, and that's why it's more devastating. You're like, wait a minute. We thought, okay, can we go on the road? How good is this New England team? You're already playing it in your head a little bit because you thought you were that good, and you showed you were that good and that capable throughout the course of the second half of the season.
Yeah, and I hesitate to say that I don't think the players were looking ahead. I don't think the team was looking ahead at all. I really don't. I don't think they were looking past Buffalo and thinking about, New England. But the rest of us were like, well, New England's only beaten one team with a winning record, and that's the Bills. And they've already won in Denver. So, man, there's no reason this team's not going to be in the Super Bowl.
You're right about that. But still, on the road against the higher seed, it's more like this one you were thinking, and as good as Buffalo is, I don't think anybody – I picked them to win by a single point. I wasn't expecting a blowout, but you still – the greater disappointment, I was saying to anybody – off the air, on the air, just win your home game. Just win your home game. And they didn't. And I'm not killing them. It's not the end of the world. Right. Only one team's going to win the Super Bowl this year. And there are going to be 31 others that have some degree of disappointment to end their season.
And Jags fans just hope against hope it's not the Texans.
Correct. At this point, we take anybody but. All right. Let's get Sakib up in Keystone. Sakib, you're on Jaguars today. Good morning.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
So while I'm very disappointed the way we lost, and I think we didn't lose. I think we just beat ourselves. I really do. I maybe I'm just the kind of fan that I am, but I think we lost because we made plenty of mistakes in that game. But let me ask you guys this question: how can the Jaguars create some kind of money so we can sign a couple of our guys back? Because I'm kind of concerned about the guys that we have to bring them back. How do we create some money and bonuses or whatever we got? Can you explain that to me? Because I don't understand that. So we can sign a couple of our guys back. Because I'll be very disappointed if we lose a couple of our guys. Let me know, because I'm very concerned about a couple of the guys.
Which guys are you concerned about to keep?
ETN, I don't want to leave. Brown, all the guys that are free agents. You know what I mean? Like a couple of our main free agents. I don't want ETN to leave. I really think he's a great running back.
You mean Lloyd? Oh, you're talking about Monteric. Okay, Monteric. I got you. Yeah. Sorry, my mind immediately went to Diami, and I'm like, what?
Can we use him as a trade bait? Can we can we franchise him and use him as a trade bait? Because he had a great year as a linebacker. I'm just kind of concerned how we create them, because we only got like $5 million in cap.
Right. All right. Well, let us address that. Keith, we appreciate it, man. We understand.
Odds are they can't, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, look, in the case of Lloyd, I mean, can you franchise him is going to be
like $27 million.
Crazy high price. Yeah. So you have to have even if you plan on trading him, which you're not supposed to franchise a guy with the intention of trading him, happens sometimes anyway. But you have to have the cap space available to apply that tag in case he signs.
Right.
If he comes to you and go, okay, I'm taking the $27 million.
He signs like right that day
then.
You do it, yeah.
As soon as you put it on him, you have to have the cap space available. But the basic idea, this a super oversimplification. If you got a guy next year who's on a 1-year, $20 million deal, Okay, that's $20 million cap hit. Okay, so you sign him, you rip that up, and you sign him to a 5-year, $40 million deal, right? Where he gets, let's say, most of that $20 million in a signing bonus. Then you can spread that cap hit out, those $40 million spread out over 5 years, lowering the cap hit to $8 million on average, okay? And with the intention of probably letting him go at some point down the line. And I'm just making up the numbers here. It may not work. A guy who says, hey, I'm going to get paid $20 million. I'm not going to sign a 5-year, $40 million deal, But that's the idea. You extend the contract. You give them an upfront bonus, and you can chop that bonus and spread that. The salary that year hits the salary cap, whatever that is. So you take that $20 million and you convert it into a $2 million salary, and you turn the rest into a bonus that you can chop over multiple years. And that's called pushing the cap hit into the future, basically. So you can do it.
Yeah. And look, Monteric Brown's a nice player. I don't think if you lose Monteric Brown, it's a massive problem.
I thought he was probably the best corner they had second half of the year.
Yeah, he's a zone corner. He's limited in man, so if you want to play man at sometimes, there's a little bit of a limitation there. He's not fast, can't run that well. But,
Campanelli plays a lot of zone.
He does, but there are also times where you want to play. You're going to have to play man.
Sure.
There's not a lot of guys. This is not a team where if we cut this guy, we can save a lot of money. We looked through this yesterday. There's not a lot of guys that you can cut to. If we cut, it's like $1 million in dead to save $4 million. There's not a lot of guys like that. So that's partly because most of the guys you got aren't big-time salaried players or big-time players that earn bigger contracts.
And part of it is some of the guys who are already under contract are going to have increased roles.
Right.
A la Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter replaces Buster Brown in your lineup, okay, you already accounted for his money, right? That's already part of the math. If Caleb Bransaw comes in and takes your starting free safety job, which is what they, I'm sure, wanted to happen when they drafted him, you found maybe an in-house upgrade over a Dewey Wingard or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Wyatt Milam. You've got to develop guys which is why all along I thought that they would move off of ETN, Tony, because of the cheap labor, and they invested in a couple of running backs. But I have gotten hooked on this transition tag idea that for 1 year, the impact Travis Etienne had scoring 13 touchdowns for this offense, where are you going to get those? Maybe you'll get them from Bajal Tutin. Maybe you won't. Etienne was a great fit for what you did. He performed. You want to reward guys like that, and there's no long-term connection after the transition tag. You got him probably for one more year at $11 million if you go that route.
It's not long enough ago that we all should have forgotten that coming out of 2022, they had 3 free agents that everyone wanted to come back, and one of them came back. Right? Jawan Taylor, Evan Ingram, Arden Key. Everyone wanted all 3 of those guys back. And the day the season ended, they said they got to figure out a way to hold on to all 3 of these guys. They have to. We can't let any of these guys go. They have to figure this out. If they lost 2 of those guys, and granted, the next season was whatever it was.
Right.
Right? Like they paid the price on that kind of thing. There is a reality in the NFL when you play and have the success that they had last year, the guys that are now free agents, teams will want them. And they know that teams are going to want them. You can't prevent other teams being interested in your good players once they're available on the market.
Of course.
You just have to deal with the reality of how do you prioritize it? What is the price point you're going to put on these guys? And accept that the odds are that you're going to lose 1 or 2 of the guys that you would like to bring back in this group of 3 or 4 that you want back in a Jaguars uniform.
And I think there's an element here, too, at play. Because for most of the past 15, 20 years, there haven't been a lot of really, really good players on this roster. There just hasn't been. Look at the record. That'll tell you that. So I do think that there's an element of fans going, well, he's one of the better players that we have. So
Come on, Devin.
Any of these
All
guys.
right.
Any guys. Like maybe like a guy like a Monteric Brown thing. He's one of the better players we have. Okay, well, that doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot generally if your team is not very good. You know what I mean? So
But they were.
They were this year.
Yeah.
I'm just using his name for the example because I couldn't pick out somebody. Like Arden Key was okay. He was he's okay. 5-6 sack guy. Okay, nothing special. It's just a guy. He was your third pass rusher. In theory, those guys are not hard to find. If you've got somebody working in the personnel department that's getting it done. It's not the end of the world if Monteric Brown doesn't come back. It's just not. Don't get caught up in guys that are good here or on teams that maybe might not be as great and falling in love with those guys and saying they got to come back, because that's not the case. Now, would it be better if Monteric Brown was back? I think so, yeah, but I don't think he will be.
All right, let's take a time out here because we need to, and we got to get to today's question of the day. Top 3 MVP candidates. Who do you think were the most valuable Jaguar players for 2025? We got a lot of submissions on social media. We'll give you ours coming up as well here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Number 9 opens up his teal and black bag of memories.
Go Googans! Let's go Googans!
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Mondays on 1010XL. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here. This month marks a big milestone for Nimnicht Buick GMC. 85 years of serving Jacksonville. Since 1941, Nimnicht's been more than a dealership. It's been part of the community. 4 generations of families, thousands of vehicles sold, and a reputation built on doing things the right way. When you hear nobody but Nimnicht, that's 85 years of trust behind it. If you bought a car from Nimnicht, serviced one, or participated in one of our causes, you're part of the legacy. Stop by and see the folks at Nimnicht today, because this milestone belongs to Jacksonville too. GMC, we are professional grade.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation on Jacksonville's Golf Station. 1010XL.
If your home doesn't have a fireplace, CSS can install a beautiful electric or gas fireplace from Heat & Glow with no major remodel required. See their showroom or CSSOutdoor.com for a free estimate. CSS, you dream it, we build it.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Jacksonville homes are selling, but it can take months, and it takes a price lower than you want. Well, getting top price means aggressive marketing, and Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive the demand to sell your home. And they have this unbelievable promise and guarantee. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. If you need to sell now, Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy are going to aggressively market your home, and they're going to get it. Anthony and Mary in Palm Coast said, we wanted to move back home closer to family. Getting max price was more important than a fast sell, but we had only purchased our home last year, so we didn't have much equity. After just 23 days of aggressive marketing with Chad and Sandy, they sold our house at the price we needed to make the move. Call the Jacksonville experts you can trust, and I recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville trusts. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Start your new year off healthy. Get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
All right, got this one on the text line from Bush Knife Rich. Don't forget, they'll be playing a first-place schedule next year. Don't have the benefit of the third-place schedule. It's not that different. Everything changes year to year, right? You look at it now and you say, wow, this year's version of X was this. You know, for instance, next year, if you had been, let's say you'd finished second, okay, because that was the more likely scenario this year, the way it played out. And you had lost one game coming down the stretch. You were the wild card team this year. Instead of playing New England, you'd play Buffalo. Well, you lost to Buffalo, right? I'm just saying, right? Instead of playing Denver, who you handled pretty mightily, you'd play the Chargers, who you also handled pretty mightily. Instead of playing the Bears, you'd play the Packers. I don't see much of a difference, quite honestly. I mean, I get the win totals this year, but things, you know, would it shock you if the Buffalo Bills won the AFC East in 2026?
No.
Wouldn't shock me.
Nope.
You know, or if the Chargers won the West. You know, if they're healthy on the offensive line.
Well, there's that, yes.
I mean, that was a big aspect. We don't know. Who knows? Denver maybe loses 2 of their starting offensive linemen. You don't know. So I've always thought, Tony, I think, agrees with me. It's been a little bit overblown, the schedule aspect of it. It is a little bit more now with the 17th game because you do play that one extra team from the other conference. Before, it used to be just a difference in 2 games, and you know, it really didn't honestly move the needle for me all that much. I mean, now if they lose to the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills are 6-11 next year, then I'll feel differently. But we'll see how that all plays out. All right, let's get to today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take. Brightened up by First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
All right, this is regular season only. Nothing that happened against the Buffalo Bills should be factored into this. Okay, this is a regular season award. All right, who the most valuable players were on the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. Would we all agree that the one guy you couldn't replicate would be Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
What do you mean, like replicate?
You couldn't, if you had lost Trevor Lawrence, that would have had the most negative impact on your football team.
Yes.
Right. So easily, that's why I didn't just go, who's the MVP of the team? It's often the quarterback, right? So we all are going to vote for Trevor Lawrence as one of the top 3 most valuable players.
Right. So you want to take him out?
No, I'm just saying, leave him
three.
in. He's one of your 3. Then it becomes interesting. For me, my other 2, and I know there's a lot of love for Parker Washington, and I have love for Parker Washington, but Travis Etienne has got to be one of them. 13 touchdowns on offense, 1,000-yard rusher, impactful in the receiving game as well. Tootin had some injury issues. Travis was there for you. Was it great every single week in a high yards per carry? No, but he produced for you. He got into the end zone. He kept this offense somewhat balanced, or helped keep it somewhat balanced. To me, he's more valuable than Parker Washington. It's tough for me to pick Parker Washington because I feel at different times of the season, different receivers. Like, I felt like Brenton Strange was the most valuable pass catcher in the first third of up to the point he got hurt. Okay. Then Jacoby Myers was in the middle of the year. Then it was clearly Parker down the stretch. And so for me, it's hard to give the vote to one guy there, although it would be Parker out of that group. But I'd go Devin Lloyd as my 3rd guy. Look, he was 2nd team All-Pro, and I think deservedly so. He made game-changing impact plays, particularly early in the season, that helped them get off to that start, that reset all of our expectations for what this season could be. We were all thinking, hang on for dear life. through 7 weeks, I had them, I think, at 2-5, right? In my prediction. And then rally late. Well, they rallied late, but they also started fast, right? So you ended up with a spectacular record and a relatively high seeding in the AFC. So I go Trevor, I go ETN, I go Lloyd. We all agreed on Trevor. Who are your other two?
Well, I mean, I probably would go with the same two you did. But if I'm going to try and go different.
Yeah, sure. Who would the next
just
two
for the
be?
hell of it? I might go Brenton Strange. No, I'm just kidding. I would go Parker. If I were going different.
I think Brenton Strange is a very valuable piece. Look, I think you could go Cole Van Lannon.
Yeah.
I think you could go Cam Little.
Yeah, you could go Anton. He was their best offensive lineman all year.
Yeah. Y'all haven't named the third guy I listed yet.
Who's that?
Josh Hines Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pressure.
He's the engine that makes the defense work. Right? Like, I do attribute a lot of the success that they had on defense this year to Josh. May not be the big sack guy, but he is the guy that was bringing even the pressures that forced bad situations for the secondary to take advantage of all season long. Even guys like Devin Lloyd. But Devin Lloyd would be number 2 on my list. It would be Trevor, Devin Lloyd.
Guys.
Yeah, it would be Trevor, Devin Lloyd, and then Josh Hines Allen for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I do think, like, I would pick Van Lannon over Anton because I felt like he was anything you needed him to be at any given moment, right? Including probably the best left tackle on the team, at least of the guys who played there, right? Because they didn't really play.
The flashy moments in my mind are more with Anton.
Probably so.
Because I can remember 3 or 4 times this year where he got into some space and just absolutely smashed guys.
If we were 4 or 5 weeks ago, could you have imagined having a top 4, 5, 6 discussion, not including Jacoby Myers, for the instant impact he made on this team? He did have a big impact. And he might be, maybe I'm just giving you a rough number, maybe one of the 10 most valuable guys because the way he settled down that room and kind of changed the dynamic, and his coming over really coincided with Trevor taking off
at a time where it could have gone off the rails.
Absolutely.
Right?
So
they lose Travis Hunter. Who knows what it's going to look like for the team? They bring him in, and it settled everything down.
Several people on social media today nominating Jordan Lewis as one of the guys, for the way he played.
First half of the season would have been.
He was really good, right? And I get it. Devin Lloyd missed time. Brenton Strange missed time. I just, I feel like Lewis came on like gangbusters early and then was good after that. I don't know if he was great. That's my perspective. I thought he was great early. Like, wow, look what we found here. And he was good after. And good is not a negative term. He was a really good player. Others, I see votes for Antonio Johnson on here as well. And
back half of this
if you're talking about the back half of the year, man, he'd have a pretty strong case to be included in there. And obviously, you can put anybody you like in there. Eric on X put the entire offensive line.
It's not a bad idea.
There were some games. I feel like the Jags gave it up in clusters this year, and there were plenty of games where the offensive line was, what you want them to be, unnoticed, right? Just going about their business because Trevor was not out there getting hit. By the way, D-Rock, to Tony's point about Josh Hines Allen, how do you feel about the quote of sacks are not a true indicator if you're impacting the quarterback, which is what James Gladstone, I was going to call him Glane
I want the guy who
Jadstones.
gets the guy on the ground.
I do too.
I want the guy who gets the guy.
But Josh had more pressures than Myles Garrett. So
finished third in the NFL in pressures. I just looked it up behind Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons.
Right.
He played 3 less games. That's how crazy good Micah Parsons was last year or this past season.
I'm not saying pressures are not impactful.
No, they are very impactful. But
you could pressure a quarterback and he can still make plays. Now, I get it. Sometimes they lead to turnovers, right? That they're throwing it, they're hurrying up, which is better than just a sack to get the turnover. But, sometimes sacks lead directly to turnovers as well. But anyway, I just thought that was
I have a guy. I'm looking up the stat here that would maybe kind of help figure this out. A low-key MVP guy that we don't really talk about. Trying to find the number here.
Devon Hamilton.
I think
Foye Oluokun.
No, Eric Murray. Really, the communication in there in the back end, we didn't see as many coverage busts that resulted in big plays down the field, and I think that's directly related to Eric Murray being back there. Now, again, Antonio Johnson played phenomenal. And, they got really, really good work out of Andrew Wingard as well. But I think the Murray solidifying of the secondary, making sure everybody understood what the hell they were doing, and you didn't have guys freelancing back there, I think is an underrated part of that defense.
Yeah, he's an important player. I wouldn't probably have him in the top 10.
No, but
most
low
valuable
key, that's
Jaguars.
what I'm saying. Like, low key guy that people might not have thought about.
It takes a bunch of guys having those kind of contributions to end up with a 13-4 record. Let me get John on the west side here before we hit the break. John, you're on Jaguars Today. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Nothing but love and respect for Coach Dillon and a lot of success. I know he'll be successful wherever he goes.
Amen.
Quick question. I don't know if you spoke on this or not. Just tuning in late. Newsome cost us that big play at the end of the game there. Are there any chances of him coming back, or what's going to happen with him? And I'll take the comments off the air. Thank you for taking my call, gentlemen.
All right, appreciate the call, John. Why don't we do this? Let's hold that thought until after the break, and we'll talk about Greg Newsome coming up here.
I got a real quick stat. Last year, pass plays given up of 40 or more yards. The Jags gave up 23.
Last year,
2024.
Yeah.
In 2025, they gave up 6. So that's a huge, huge difference.
Massive. Yep. All right, let's talk about Greg Newsome and his future, and if he has one here in Jacksonville. When we return in the moment, we'll also go around the National Football League. Foye getting some love on the text line for being one of the most valuable Jaguars as well. Look, there are a lot of good candidates this year, which is a nice thing. Instead of saying, well, we got a lot of bad guys. You're always going to have 3 who stand out maybe, or 3 at the top of the list, but I think, have more quality candidates for that honor than we've had in a while here in Jacksonville. All right, we'll take a time out here with Mike DeRocco of ESPN. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Take the game with you.
What a turn of events!
Radio play-by-play is where you are. 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Josie for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Searcy here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta, No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, from the always level-headed Duval Doom on the X platform.
Love Doom.
This morning. I do love Doom. He's not always level-headed. But he did say this. I know how this is going to sound, but he's going to say it anyway. But does Mike DeRocco think we're going to keep anyone? Huh? Crying emoji. Crying, laughing emoji.
Let me ask, who do you think this team absolutely has to keep?
Trevor Lawrence.
Do they have to keep Agba? Smoot?
No.
Austin Johnson? Matt Dickerson?
No. Maybe.
Devin Lloyd?
I'd like to keep Matt Dickerson.
Gardeck? Maybe?
Gardeck, maybe.
Like,
I'm not saying have to on any of these.
Gardeck, I would actually think is going to be back.
I think Dickerson is one of the. I think Dickerson is one of those guys, kind of like Cole Van Lannon. Like, you got him, you found him, you kind of developed him. He's probably
maybe
doesn't have that much of a clamoring around the league, and I could definitely see Dickerson being back.
Do you have to keep Newsome? No.
No.
Do you have to keep?
Well, that was the question about what do we do with Newsome. You had said it earlier. You think he's gone?
I do. Do you have to keep Monteric Brown? No. Do you have to keep Andrew Wingard? No. Offensively, do you have to keep DJ Dallas? No. Do you have to keep De'Ami Brown? No.
ETN?
Do you have to keep Tim Patrick? No. Do you have to keep Quentin Morris? I think they would like to bring Quentin Morris back. I think he'll be a guy that's back. Do you have to keep Travis Etienne? You don't have to.
You don't have to keep any of them.
I don't.
But you also don't have to win 13 games.
Correct.
I mean, at some point, I'm not saying all these guys. A lot of those guys are replaceable. Okay, and I'm sorry, they just are.
Yeah,
right?
everybody's
and
replaceable.
That's the nature of the National Football League.
Correct.
Well, on a cost per value basis, I'm saying you could probably find some good upcoming young cornerback talent that you can mold, and replace Buster Brown, for instance. I don't know. I think if you're going to find a guy to replace what ETN does, you're probably going to have to pay something, if you're going to get
it
that.
Better
now,
be Tootin.
It better be Tootin. Right.
Yeah.
Tootin better be that guy, and you better be right about that.
Well, that's what you took Tootin for.
Yeah,
sure.
So if you still believe in your scouting and the evaluation process and all that stuff, that you took Tootin to spend a year behind Travis Etienne.
If you don't want to spend $12 million because you're not sure
so you
yet.
don't have to do
I'm
that.
not arguing.
Yeah.
I thought all along that would be the likely scenario, but I think Travis Etienne just really outplayed my expectations, and I do think he is a good fit.
Yes.
He's a hard worker. He's a liked guy in this locker room.
Great in the locker room.
He's all these things, and they love the intangibly rich element of it, and I'm not trying to be funny about that.
But teams are always trying to find cheaper and better guys.
Understand.
So, their evaluation of Monteric Brown, whatever it is should be, do we think there's someone out there that can give us as much or more as he did, and can we get them cheaper? That's the question about everybody.
And teams often do that, and sometimes they make mistakes.
And they
may
make mistakes.
Like the Tennessee Titans thought, can't keep paying Derrick Henry as he gets into his late 20s, right? And look at him, he continues along like he's never missed a beat, right? And just as one example, I'm not saying that would be exactly the path that Travis Etienne would
How about
take.
this? Everybody thought they were re-signing Calvin Ridley. We all thought it. And according to what Trent Baalke told or said, hey, look, they had him in the fold, and then the $20 million a year came rolling around, and they weren't going to match that. So everybody
Which
wanted
has probably
him back.
worked out for the best,
right? Because they found a guy that did what they were going to get out of Calvin Ridley better and cheaper in Brian Thomas Jr. Now, did that work out this year? No, but in 2024, it certainly did.
No, I get it, man. I'm the type that would typically say, go and draft another running back in the 4th or 5th round, and there's your backfield. You've got your lead guy. Go get this year's Tootin and have him back up last year's Tootin.
Or can you bring is a Rashad White, who I think is a free agent? Is that a guy you could bring in and kind of partially replace Etienne along with White and the production from Tootin? Maybe,
possibly so.
And can you get him for less than what you would have to pay Travis Etienne?
I would think
probably,
so.
Yeah. But you have to decide if that's what it is. People are asking me, would I bring the guy back, or what do I think they're going to do? I don't think they're going to bring these guys back. If you're asking me, would I bring Travis Etienne back? Yes, I would. But I'm not in charge.
I think it's more likely than I thought it would have been a month ago. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I think I'm not writing off, I'm with you. Typically I'd be like, churn it over, young guy, cheaper guy at the running back position, if you believe that he can get the job done. And I believe that Tootin can, but we haven't seen it on a heavy volume workload either. But that I just feel like what Etienne did, and again, for me, he's probably the second most valuable guy on this team this year, other than the quarterback. So that's me. All right, let's go around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Houston wide receiver Nico Collins did not practice on Wednesday after being placed in the league's concussion protocol following their playoff win on Monday night. New England is signing defensive end Darrell Taylor to their practice squad. He was waived earlier this week by the Texans. San Francisco left tackle Trent Williams was a full practice participant on Wednesday as he works through a hamstring injury. Buffalo defensive tackle Ed Oliver has been limited in practice the last couple of days as he works to return off the team's IR due to a biceps injury. Chicago wide receivers DJ Moore and Rome Odunze both limited on Wednesday. They were limited in practice all last week, but both were able to play in their wildcard game against Green Bay. Wide receiver Adam Thielen has announced his retirement from the NFL after a 13-year career. John Harbaugh met with the New York Giants about their open head coaching position. Quarterback Jackson Dart was included in the interview there. Adam Schefter reported this morning that the Giants and Harbaugh are working out the details for him to be hired as the team's next head coach. Harbaugh was scheduled to meet with the Tennessee Titans at his home today. The Titans will meet with 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh on Sunday. Saleh will also be meeting with the Baltimore Ravens in the same meeting.
All right, Tony. So the first domino apparently falls with Harbaugh going to the Giants. So we'll see if the pace picks up at some of these other jobs that have been waiting for him. I guess the Titans were left waiting at the altar. The word was they had the plane gassed up, ready to go. Go get him in Baltimore. And, so look, I never thought he would choose Tennessee over the New York Giants. And people were like, oh, man, you got taxes in New York. It's a tax-free state. When you're making enough money like Harbaugh is, I don't know if that matters all that much in the end.
Jackson Dart and the pass rush looks like it's close to being built, if not completely built, with the Giants. They got issues.
The pass rush potential is definitely there with New York. No question about it. All right, we'll come back with some final thoughts for today with Mike DiRocco of ESPN. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. The cooler weather has been around for a little while. There's nothing like warming yourself up with a delicious breakfast sandwich on a chilly morning. Get your day kicked off right. Dandy knows that. That's why my friends at Dandy Food have a fantastic line of breakfast options for you, including the twin pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. Ready to go in under a minute in the microwave. You get the sweet, then you get the salty. And trust me, they're both delicious. They're both addicting. It's a nice hearty portion weighing in at 7 ounces. and you're going to find those at your local daily stores all over town. So pop in, check them out. I usually talk about the great selection of dandy lunch and dinner options, and they do have those sandwiches, subs, but they've got so much more. Protein packs, gourmet salads, light lunchtime wraps, veggie trays, fruit cups, you name it, and yes, a full line of breakfast items. Great variety, great prices, great food. That's dandy. When you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE, Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hi, folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Mike DeRocco is protected by Lee and Kate's Glass. New look, same great service on 1010XL.
All right, I got like 2.5 questions for you.
2.5?
Yeah, well, one of them is multi-part, kind of related, okay? Or I'll ask however many there are. Let me ask them. Okay.
All right.
Anthony Campanelli's getting a head coaching interview with Miami. Grant Udinski with Cleveland. I've heard there's some buzz that they're very impressed with Grant Udinski. Do you think either one of those gets a job this cycle? And if so, which one's more likely to get a job? So that's the 1.5.
Whoa.
The follow-up.
I don't look, if it's Cleveland for Udinski, I hope he runs away. I don't think you want any part of that franchise at all.
Do you take the interview, though?
You absolutely take the interview.
Well, then if they offer you the job, you're going to say no?
I don't know if they're going to offer you a job.
But you just said if it's Cleveland for Udinski, I'd run away.
Right. If it were me, I would not
then
want
why interview with him?
For the experience of the interview. It's your first head coaching interview.
So you would risk getting offered the job and then saying nope to your first head coaching gig?
Probably, I would.
Why take the interview?
For the experience. To see what look, I don't want to work in Cleveland. What possible reason would you? I know it's one of 32, but
that's a pretty big reason.
You want to set yourself up for success, for goodness sakes. That's an awful franchise. It is run terribly. You have no quarterback. It's like that's where people go to die. Kevin Stefanski's a really good coach. Got him to the playoffs, didn't he?
He was 2-time coach of the year.
Yes,
in 6 years,
and now he's gone.
Yeah,
it's a mess there. So I think I wouldn't be surprised.
Would you take over Jacksonville
now?
Now you would, right? Last year, they're a 4-13 team. How times have they been in the playoffs in the last 20 years? What a mess. What a terrible franchise. Why would Liam Cohen do that? Why would he take that job?
Because there were more pieces in place there.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
You had one of the best rookies. You had a quarterback that you thought was way better than he had played, for sure. What's the attractiveness in Cleveland?
Was Ben Johnson offered a job 2 years ago? Do we remember? I know he took Chicago last year. Was he offered one the year before?
They took it. Didn't he take an interview?
I think he might have taken his name out of the running at some point. But generally, you do that when you don't think you're going to get the job. But anyway, all right, let's.
Yeah. So anyway,
do you think one of them's likely to get a job this
cycle?
Yes.
Probably not. But I think if it was, it would probably really be Campanile because it's. Or not Campanile, I'm sorry, Udinski, because it's the offense guys.
The young offensive mind. All right, let me
McVay.
We got to bring in XL Prime Time. I got one more question for you before you get out of here. So they're at the Ale House at the Avenues Mall. We got Joe C. coming up.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Joe C., hello. I see you fellas out there.
That's right.
Looking good over at the Ale House. Man, what's going on?
Well, I like the fact that the garage doors are down in the patio area because it is cold for Duval outside. But the patio, we're right here at the corner of Phillips and Southside, the Avenues Ale House, and they're ready. Okay, I'll just tell you, there's a tall one that's been poured with one of our dudes at the bar right now, still getting over the Bills' loss. But we'll dig into all the storylines coming out of the conversation yesterday with the GM and the HC, and then Dante Moore coming back to college. Did you see the price tag for that? Unbelievable.
No, what did he get?
Like, we're talking like $7.5 million is the conversation right now. That's
still
being
a fraction
had,
of what
that
he would have got.
College quarterback is getting to come back to play one more year.
It's a good time to be a college player at any position right now. Joe, who do you think Campanile or Udinski has a reasonable chance to get a head coaching gig this cycle?
I think reasonable is fine to say, but no. A less than 50% chance. That's reasonable. Campanile has Dolphins ties. He certainly turned the defense around. You can love on him. Udinski might not get as much credit because of what the Cohen quotient is when it comes to the offense. So I'm going to say lower than 50%. But hell yeah, they'll be looked at as, wait a minute, whatever you guys did, you flipped the script from 4-13 to 13-4. We want some of that.
All right, Joey, have a great show today.
All right, man, thanks.
Holding court at the Ale House at the Avenues Mall, along with Matt Hayes and Big Sur. So that's coming up here in just a few minutes. D-Rock, what is the biggest issue that the Jags have to address this offseason? We get more into detail next week on it, but what is the biggest issue?
Man, there's a lot. You know what? I'll say this. Difference makers. More difference makers on this roster. They need more difference makers. I don't know if Hunter is that guy. Maybe he is. They think he is. But they need more difference makers on this roster. Defensively, especially in the secondary. We could argue edge rush, obviously. And they need more difference makers in offense. Yeah.
Now, Travis Hunter, edge rusher, supreme.
By the way, just looking up the details real quickly on the Ben Johnson thing, it looked the Washington was on the way to Detroit to interview him for the second time when Ben Johnson informed them he was pulling his name out of consideration 2 years ago. So it looked like
he was
Washington was ready to offer the job to him potentially, and he said no.
All right, fair enough. I still think if you're Udinski, you're a non-play calling offensive coordinator.
I'm with you.
And somebody offers you a head coaching gig, I'm probably taking it.
Hard to say.
Well, you also feel like I'll get other opportunities. And if you're Cleveland, it may just be a fishing expedition.
Could be.
To find out, hey, what did you guys do to turn that around there? What is it about that offense? What is it? What did y'all do with Trevor? That kind of stuff. It may be just a fact-finding mission, too.
All right, we got to take our final timeout and hand it off to XL Primetime. So let's do that for Mike DeRocco, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark. D-Rock, always good having you in. Dylan Denmark's final day tomorrow on the program. We'll reminisce and have tearful goodbyes.
Bye.
There you go.
Goodbye,
tearful
man.
goodbye right there. Bye-bye.